Hello and welcome back to Destin Business Forum, a television show for members of the Destin Chamber of Commerce. I'm Shane Moody, President and CEO, and I'm very glad to be your MC. We're going to continue with our real estate theme that we've had today. It just kind of has fallen into place. And with us now we have Doreen Castro and Teresa Wanamaker from Acentria Insurance. Welcome, ladies.
Hi, thank you.
I almost said welcome, guys, because that's what I've been saying all morning. Glad to have you with us. I know Acentria very well because past chairman Mike Freeman works there. I know Kevin Mason, one of the owners, very well, but some of our viewers don't. Tell us a little bit about Acentria and the lines that you guys offer.
Acentria is an independent insurance agency. We are based here in Florida with our headquarters in Destin. We have 25 offices across the southeastern United States, primarily in Florida. However, we do have offices also in Georgia and in South Carolina.
Okay, and through those offices, what kind of lines do you offer? What products, services do you have? And what are some important things that our viewers might need to know about Acentria?
I would say that we can handle all of your insurance needs, both residential and business insurance. We take a different approach to make sure we truly educate our clients to make the best decisions in their best interest.
Okay, and I know one thing about Acentria that I've always been impressed with is the customer service, and you guys really work on that, and I think that's good. With all the rain we've had, because for the viewers, Tropical Storm Cindy has just blown through here. A lot of water, flooding may be an issue for some of your clients. Talk a little bit about flood insurance, what you offer with flood insurance, and why it's important maybe for people to have that.
Well, this discussion probably couldn't be any more timely. But flood insurance is an area where a lot of people who aren't pushed to buy flood insurance, maybe by their mortgage or because they are in a high-risk flood zone, typically don't do it. And we like to encourage people to go ahead and make that extra step to purchase the flood insurance. Flood insurance specifically is excluded from your homeowner policy.
Right.
So you do need a separate policy in order to do that. And what we've seen with Tropical Storm Cindy is flood, which comes from the outside into your home, as opposed to, a lot of people will say, well, my house flooded because a pipe broke. Well, that's an entirely different coverage.
That's not flood coverage,
that
correct?
Is not.
That's
correct. That would be water damage.
Right.
And so, specifically from flood damage, that is the #1 natural disaster in the United States. And so flood insurance is extremely important.
Right, and it's a national program, right?
It is.
It's the National Flood Insurance Program. And one thing that I hear a lot is that there's more damage caused by water in big storms than there is by wind or anything else. Is that what you see as well?
Yes, that is true. And again, you referenced the National Flood Insurance Program. What we're seeing some changes that are occurring in the market right now, and we're seeing some private carriers come in and offer flood insurance as an alternative to the National Flood Insurance Program. And that can be beneficial for a lot of reasons. Some being rate, and some being availability.
So in a big storm, the top of a big tree falls and crashes into your roof. All right, rain comes in, gets inside your... Is that flood insurance covered, or is that wind damage liability insurance kind of thing?
That would be covered under your homeowner's policy.
Okay.
It's considered wind-driven rain. As opposed to, and again, it needs to come in from the outside and be rising, as opposed to... that would be under your wind coverage.
I'm learning so much.
I know.
I've always wondered about that.
And that's why we're here, because you're not alone. There's a lot of people, and they're afraid to ask the question, but we're here to answer those questions.
Right. And so they're sitting there now watching us on television going, I got to call these ladies. I got to get this.
Please.
And also, flood insurance, even for this area, is relatively inexpensive when you compare it to the cost of a claim or repair that you have to do if you don't have flood insurance.
That's true. The statistics show that the average flood claim is $51,000. So if you can, put that into perspective, if you don't have flood insurance, having to come up with $51,000 to cover the repairs and the remediation of the water in your home, the cost of flood insurance in a preferred zone can be as little as $400 or $500.
Right. And what are you seeing where homeowners rates in the state, are they coming down? Are they staying consistent? Because after, I guess it was 05, 06, when we had all those storms come through, there were some companies who pulled out. and finding homeowners policies was difficult, especially with hurricane coverage, which we have to have here. What are you seeing with rates?
Right now, the rates are quite stable. We're seeing that over the last 2 or 3 years, there have been some rate reductions, and now they're really stabilized. It's much better than it was right after that series of storms that there were, where a lot of carriers, like you said, had pulled out of the state. Also, the availability of carriers and different options is greatly increased.
Okay, so there's a vacationer in town in Destin right now who's flipping through the channels and they found us. Okay, and they're seeing us talk about insurance, and they're thinking about buying a condo or a home down here. Everybody wants to move here. It's a great place to be. Can you help them find insurance for the new condo or the new home that they're thinking about buying?
Absolutely. We have tons of snowbirds, rental properties, secondary residences. We can handle it all.
And again, you're an independent agency, so you're local. You're here, so you're not dealing with somebody at an 800 number in Minnesota or in New York or anywhere like that.
Exactly, and we all live here. We live where you need to buy your insurance. We understand what the needs are.
And that was going to be my next question. Yeah, not only that you're local, but you know what they need.
Exactly.
Right, because we all have it on our homes.
We all need it
Right.
ourselves. Exactly.
Right. If there's one thing that you would want viewers to know about Acentria Insurance, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can reach us through our website at www.acentria.com. That's ACENTRIA.com.
Right, and I know RJ's putting the information up on the screens as we're talking about it.
Yes.
And I think really we just have a different approach. Like you said, we're not a 1-800 number. We are people. We're a big family. We have a much different approach and environment. We really just want to educate people, treat them like our family and just help them make educated decisions. And, we never want somebody to call and say, why didn't you offer me this?
Right.
We want them to have all the information that they need to be most adequately protected. And really feel good about the people that they're doing business with.
And that's important because insurance claims are tough to deal with sometimes, right?
Yes,
Yes.
for sure.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for being with us today and all of the great things that you do in the community. I'm glad to have you with us on the show. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our show this month. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next month.